Hey everybody, it's Skylar here from the Avatar Legends Real Play podcast, Benders and Brews, and I have a super exciting announcement. I'm sure that in a lot of the online communities for Avatar Legends, you've been seeing that everybody's been starting to get their packages from the Kickstarter pledge, and well, I guess we're no different because this package says it's from Magpie Games. So, join me in opening this bad boy up as we look at all the cool stuff that came from the Kickstarter pledge, and we just really get excited about playing Avatar Legends, because I know I am. Let's check it out. So normally I would do something like this in the podcast studio because I've got the nice backdrops and everything, but unfortunately the table is full of mixers and audio equipment and everything else as we're getting ready for our season 2, which will hopefully be airing this spring. But I decided to go here instead, and I grabbed some things out of there, like my Flying Bison pillow right here. I've got the Avatar pillow over here. Avatar Fire Nation Rising over here. So I feel like to some extent it's some good decor. Not the best, but it'll do. Additionally, normally people would open this with a box cutter, but I thought it was more fictionally appropriate to whip out this sword that I got and open it with this. Safely, hopefully. See if we can. Oh, hey, there's a little thing at the end to keep the sharp end from hurting somebody. Oh, man. There's probably something on here that says, like, open with care, fragile things inside. And here we are, opening it with a sword. I know there's been a lot of people opening their Avatar Legend packages lately and showing it off online. But I have a feeling I might be the first and maybe only one to do it with a sword. All right, we're in. And we didn't cut ourselves. That's a good sign. All right. This has been a long time in the making, and I am incredibly stoked about it. And you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me say that and want to just see the stuff on the inside. And I can't believe it. All right, here we go. All right, pushing past this. All right. Whoo, this is exciting. All right, first of all, we've got the Avatar Legends dice. So these are all the dice that you would need. You can play the game with 6-sided dice, but you know what's even cooler is when those 6-sided dice have the element symbols on them. In my opinion, that's just that much cooler. So these are awesome. I'm gonna pop these open. This is where it really gets scary. There we go. All right, we're here. Why not? You know, that was surprisingly easy. Like, I got that right open. Why aren't we all opening things with swords? Apparently that's just the better way to go. All right, I'm gonna open this up. Comes in some nice packaging. Within the packaging, why does it feel like there's something in there? I don't know. I don't think there is. Ooh, these are sturdy. So one of the fun things about this is it includes all of the different, like, because not everybody's a bender, right? You got non-benders and the technologists and all this other stuff. So there are dice in here to represent each of those options, which is super awesome. We're really playing with fire here. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. Don't want to lose these like right off the bat. So that way, in theory, if you had a character representing each of the elements in your campaign, they would each get their respective dice. All right, so like I said, you've got your different dice here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the element itself is 6, or whatever the case. Airbenders, they have their airbending, so on and so forth. So, man, these feel really nice too. These feel like good. They got some good weight to them, which is exciting. Love that like coloring, sort of that mixed color going on in there, which is really cool. Love it, love it. All right, so that's the dice. So a friend of mine actually got me some dice for Christmas that were Avatar The Last Airbender dice, and they're kind of the same thing. They have the symbols on them and stuff. They're just like kind of more general dice. And so now I've got plenty to go around for sure. So all right, next up we've got this beautiful, fantastic dice bag here, fabric dice bag. It's got a little, this is metal and this has good weight to it. That's nice, so that you can draw a string here or loosen it as necessary. This is pretty neat. There's a little tag at the bottom, Avatar Legends, which is great. Can fit my whole hand in there. I love how I just put all these dice into this nice little package, and I'm gonna dump them right into this this dice bag. The dice are in. Close it and seal. There we go. Dice bag, beautiful, love it. All right, next up. Oh, okay, I see. All right, so this is the map, which you could lay out on your table. That way you can give players the whole rundown of everything. But before we get to that, I just noticed this. This right here is our White Lotus tile. This is one of the stretch goals that they came up with. It's so simple, but I love it so much. I love it so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Oh, it's got like there's an interesting texture. I can't really explain it, but it's textured in the shape of that lotus there. I don't know what I'll do with it. It doesn't have two different sides, so I can't like flip it and use it in that way. But I'm sure I'll find some purpose for it, and I'm very excited to figure out what that'll be. Who knows? Maybe my players end up joining the Order of the White Lotus. Who knows? Who knows? All right, now we're on to the map. Here we go. There we are. Beautiful fabric map. Super simple. Great way to like lay this out and really give your players a feel of the world. But right here we've got the map, and it shows all the different areas, which is great. You can point it out when the players are traveling around the world. So we'll fold that back up. Very awesome. Feels nice. Got good weight to the fabric that they chose to use for it. So next up, okay, these are I'm excited for my players. This will be great for their usage. These are the combat action pack of like cards. This is always my biggest struggle, is figuring out how to open this pack of cards. And I know they make them in such a way that you can just do this and then you're good to go. But if I didn't have fingernails, or if I recently clipped, I'd be... Whoa! I was not expecting that. Okay. So these have this really nice sort of glossy finish to them. They're a little sticky, not to my fingers, but to each other. So I'll have to go through them and separate them here. It looks like there's multiple of the same. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so these are status cards. So on one side, you know, you see prepared. That's a positive status. That's this one. On the other side, you'll see stunned, which is a negative status. That's fantastic. That's exactly what was needed. Shows you exactly what happens if you are benefited by or impaired by whatever the status effect is. There's multiple copies in here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 of each one, it looks like. And it looks like it's got all the statuses, which again is fantastic. Because how many times have I had my players ask me like, okay, so I'm empowered, what does that mean? And this would just be a much easier way to just hand them the card and be like, here, you're empowered for the time being. You can give that card back when you're done. That's fantastic. Sorry, I'm trying to get through this, like, they're kind of stuck to each other. I think it's just the packaging. It's not a big deal. They're not tearing or anything like that. Then over here, you've got move cards for your combat. So these are the different approaches that you can take. This one's evade and observe. You've got advance and attack, and you've got defend and maneuver. Shows the different like basic moves that you can do with them, which is awesome. Shows you which stat that you roll for in order to determine if you succeeded or what level you succeeded at or whatever, which is fantastic. These are amazing reference cards to be able to give my players, so I'm super excited about that. There's a lot of them in here. For sure. This is awesome. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, these are all awesome pieces to be able to give out to your players to help make the game run more smoothly. Just great references. When I saw that they were coming out with these, I was ecstatic. Because these are just an absolute necessity. All right, next up, we've got this booklet right here, which actually, believe it or not, is a packet of booklets. Once I get them open, we can take a look at them. So I'm thoroughly curious as to what these look like. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you've got the Avatar Aang and Korra version notebook right here. I'll get to opening them in just a moment. But on the flip side, we have the ones that are based on the elements. You've got your air, fire, earth, and water. Inside each of these It is just a blank sheet, fully blank, so you can write your notes or whatever the case, however you need to do it, right? The cool thing is, if you've got 4 players like I do, this is perfect. You can give each of them one of these, and then of course you've got one for yourself as the DM. So I said DM again, GM, whatever. It's not a big deal. Fantastic resources, fantastic way to keep notes during your campaigns, keep details correct. I've been needing something like that. If you've listened to the Benders and Brews podcast, we do have like a money mechanic worked in. We call it yuan. And there was a lot of debate back and forth during the first season about, wait, how much money did we get again? I need to remember how much money we get because we're working towards a goal. We needed like 1,000 yuan or 3,000 yuan, whatever the case. I can't even remember now. And it would have been great for me to be able to have kept track, or them to even just keep track of who has how much. So these are great. Next up, this is the big stuff. This is where the big stuff comes in. Boom! We got our books. We got our full-on role-playing rule books. These are huge, and it's hardcover. That's quality right there. Woo, look at this. Ah, I can't wait to open this. It's going to have some awesome artwork. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is incredible. Admittedly, it's a little bit exhausting to keep having to open up the digital resources every single time, the digital books, trying to look through them and find the information that I'm looking for. It's just something about having these. Just, there's all the playbooks and the information on those. Oh, this is amazing. This thing is huge. This is a big book. There's a lot to read through here. But hey, that's how the game works, right? Big old rule books, getting you through, figuring out how to play the game. Ah, that is solid. That is beautiful. I love that so much. All right, and I believe this will be the final part. For those that are probably wondering through this entire video, because I didn't say it at the beginning, I backed on the Otter Penguin level, and I think I might have added something, or maybe these were just the stretch goals. Probably didn't add anything. Whatever the case, next level was like the polar bear dog. There was just, I didn't see a need personally, but these got me pretty much everything I need to get started and more. So that was really exciting for me. And of course, you know, once everybody's gotten their pledges and so on and so forth, I'm sure Magpie Games, I know they're already doing like pre-orders, but they'll probably have stuff out all over the place for us to buy if we want more. So that's exciting. But last but not least, another hardcover book, Tong's Adventure Guide. There we go. I don't know. I was trying to think of what it was. So this one comes with the additional playbooks. It comes with a bunch of different, there we go. A bunch of different one-shots, or roughly one-shots. I mean, you can make a full campaign out of them, honestly. Basically, like starter campaigns, or like, here's the gist of it. You take it however you want, which is fantastic. That's something that I'm sure everybody's going to want to have access to when they're starting out playing the game. Just have it. They want something that like helps them figure it all out, right? Over here, we've got the additional playbooks. The Razor, the Destined, the Elder, the Foundling. Let's see, I just had it. Here we go. So these are what the like one-shot or starter campaigns or whatever the case are at. So there's one for each era. So like this one's the one for the Roku era. There's one for the Kyoshi era. There's one for the 100-Year War, the Aang era, so on and so forth, right? There's one for every era, which is really awesome. You get to really taste each world. You've got the one in the Korra era, so that's going to be your most modern era, and then we'll see what else they come out with, you know, once all this stuff that's being announced for the whole Avatar The Last Airbender world comes out. I'm sure they'll come out with more content, different eras, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of growth here for this game, and I'm excited to see what it all brings. Here in the back, they got a whole bunch of extra moves and so on, which is really exciting. Techniques, rather. And these are going to be awesome. I've already looked through these, obviously, because I have the digital version, but it's awesome to have like the physical reference material for this. Avatar Legends, if you are somebody that's looking to get into tabletop role-playing or is in tabletop role-playing but looking for you know, a new game to play or something along those lines. Maybe you're trying to get into it, but you're scared because games like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder or whatever the case, just they have a lot of rules and it's a very complex game. This is where you want to go, right? Powered by the Apocalypse system. It's a really simple system. It's really focused on the story and the story building for a role-playing game. It's focused on the role-playing itself. It's super fun, especially with Avatar Legends. If you're a big fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, this is right up your alley. So I highly recommend getting into it. And of course, if you're trying to learn how to play and you want to really like learn by example, come on over and check out Benders and Brews, because we just finished our entire first season at the end of 2022. And it was an absolute blast. We've been learning along the way, which is, I feel like, a great way to learn as well. Had a fantastic story to start off for season 1. We're super excited to continue that story into season 2, which again will be coming this spring. We're working hard. On the podcast note, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, everywhere else that podcasts can be found. We're probably on there. We should be on there. You can also find us on Discord and jump in with us, talk to us, get our ideas, get some information from us, or share your ideas. We'd love to hear what you guys are coming up with. And then, of course, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're there, right? Come check us out. We've been posting a lot of resources, or we're starting to post a lot of resources, because we've seen a huge growth in the community now that all this stuff is starting to come in, which is so freaking awesome. I am so excited to see how this game and the community grows. It's going to be phenomenal. It's super exciting to be a part of it from the start. So join us now, because it's going to be a wild ride, and it's going to be awesome. So join in with us now. Get yourself a copy of this stuff. Find a copy of the digital stuff, or even just find a DM that's, I said it again, GM that's already got this stuff and wants to run a game. Find them and talk to them and say, hey, I want to play this on social media, so that you can talk to us and tell us how things are going with your campaigns. We'd love to hear the stories. Let's create content for this. Let's get the name of Avatar Legends out there. Let's make this like the next big game, right? And I can't wait to see where this all goes. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Keep an eye out on our social media. And of course, if you haven't already, listen into season 1. All of season 1 is available, plus the prequel episodes that we put together with some amazing voice talent out there. I'm Skylar. I'm the Game Master. And I'll see you guys next time.